Hi, thanks for joining us. We're coming to you live from the 2025 Baird Defense and Government Conference at the Ritz-Carlton Tysons Corner. My name is Charles Lyons-Burt. I'm Senior Content Manager at Executive Mosaic, and we are the nation's leading GovCon events and networking organization. Today, I'm lucky to be joined by Shubhi Mishra. Shubhi is the CEO and founder of Raft, an up-and-coming defense tech company. Thanks for joining me today, Shubhi.
Well, happy to be here. Thanks, Charles.
Absolutely. So you just had a fantastic presentation with Gene Stack, Managing Director at Baird. I should say that you're both Wash100 winners, actually. You know, the Executive Mosaic's leading GovCon recognition, our annual awarding of the top talent in GovCon. You both have won that award. Do you want to share just a couple of highlights from that session for our audience and maybe talk to us a little about what Raft is?
Yeah, absolutely. So Raft is a software tech, defense tech company working primarily in the software layer, connecting edge to enterprise across the entire defense ecosystem. So think edge being the Philippines and the Guam or the forward island chain within the Indo-Pacific theater to all the way to the enterprise. Think Pentagon, think all the program offices, think the strategic layer. And so our software connects from the edge to the enterprise and enables operators across these domains make really fast, quick decisions to enable real-time awareness. And yeah, the session with Gene was fantastic. And so, I'm always asked this question about what is a defense tech and how is it really different from all these different companies that are existing within this ecosystem? And, when everything you see out there is using the same terminology in a marketing slick sheet, and, the answer is very simple. Majority, and I want to say 95%, if not 98% of the companies are reacting to what the requirements are coming out. And that's not defense tech. Defense tech companies are the ones that are sitting next to the operators in the forwardmost island, right, in the forwardmost edges, and understanding the requirements that the operator is facing day to day, such that they can make their lives through tech better and make those operators super operators. That's a defense tech company. They're not waiting for reacting. They're creating what needs to be created so this country is in a better place in 27 in years to come.
Yeah, definitely. No, I liked your answer on that. It makes a lot of sense, and I think it kind of cuts through the buzzwords really well. So you mentioned, upcoming years. What's something that Raft has planned for 2026, for example, that you're really excited about?
Yeah, so we are very much focused on completing out our thesis and going deeper in it. For us, we know to succeed, not only do we have to connect the most squirrely customers with the forwardmost edges. Right now, that is being done with people, with operators, and not autonomous software. And, the problem that has always existed and continues to exist is the boring problem, but nobody looks at it, is everything is optimized for the microchasm. By that, I mean, an Air Force radar that is consuming data or that's producing data, and the operators are looking at it and making decisions. That is the data format, not only data, standards. They were written and optimized for that specific decade, for that specific function, for that specific problem set. On the other hand, you have an Army, organization that is probably tackling with, dealing with SIGINT data. And again, they have optimized the way they work for that specific unit, for the specific problems that they want to solve for. And there's no way right now at a macro level this is connecting, such that it's operationally performant and can deliver the results that POTUS wants us to deliver, or the country wants us to deliver. And that problem is not solved yet. And it's a very hard problem. Not only does it require you to connect these legacy with the new, but it also requires you to connect to create something that can functionally be modular and operate in the microcosm, but scale out to the macro. And so that's the problem set that Raft is taking on. And so, we have made a lot of progress in the past 8 years. We are continuing to do more and more in different theaters. So this year we will, have proliferated within the Paycom theater, the Indo-Paycom theater. We have proliferated. We got into the CENTCOM theater. And so more of proliferation is going to come in 26. And then POTUS talks about the Golden Dome a lot. And so we are, looking around our ecosystem through acquisitions we've already done, also through our existing customers, that how we can contribute towards that mission.
Gotcha. Well, that's really exciting. Something that actually came up, and I'm just thinking of this now, in the session before yours I was attending, it was a new primes panel, and it had some, Anduril and Shield AI, some of these other up-and-coming companies, and they were discussing how the Department of Defense or the Department of War, they're just now sort of letting these type of companies in the door, but it's still a little difficult to build trust between defense agencies and, these unproven companies that don't have a history of performance with the Department of War. How is Raft working to build that trust?
Yeah, so, trust, we have been successful in two ways, and that's where we are different from a lot of them out there. One is you got to be with them. You got to be with the operator. They got to trust you. It's just human one-on-one connection. That's one. You got to be with them. You got to break bread, right? You got to sit with them. Where they work in the forward operating bases, you will be surprised if, sort of the resources they have available. And so it's so easy to sit in the center and, the mothership, right, where you have beautiful air-conditioned rooms and that was talking from here, not working with them there, really that there's no way they're going to trust you, right? So that's first, just humanness and trust. And the second is you can be a black box. I think a lot of companies struggle with this, and you got to show the traceability of the decisions. You got to show what is happening when it's happening. And that enables them to know that the decisions the software is taking is something they can trust. Without that, and if a lot of companies have a black box. It's somebody's word, and either you believe it or you don't. So for Raft, we have done it, attacked it both ways. It's like humanness, and also made sure in our software you can see end-to-end traceability.
Gotcha. Thank you. So Raft is very involved in AI, as many companies are, but it's particularly key to your guys' products. From what I understand, the market is so fast moving with AI also. What's something new you've learned about AI in 2025?
Yeah, so AI is very different when you talk about AI in a cloud or AI where you have a lot of compute, right, which doesn't exist on these tactical edges. And AI in these tactical edges is still being figured out. And so there's a lot of market opportunity for there. Nobody has the answer. Right now, the answer is dependent on GPUs, and which is controlled by a few companies. And until we figure how does AI work on the tactical edge, it's going to continue to remain a hard problem. We are tackling it different ways, but there's no beautiful solution right now out there. And of course, AI depends on inference versus execution. And AI has gotten really good about execution, but figuring out what to execute, it's still a human thing. And I think it should remain a human thing for a very, very long time, if not for all, always, especially in defense tech, which is you make decisions based on that are life and death. And those decisions should be left with a human. But it can be aided by an AI of what a different courses of actions. But there's still a long way to go there. The biggest market opportunities around how does AI work on the tactical edge.
Totally. Okay. Well, that's really insightful. One last question for you. This is the Baird conference. There's lots of discussions about IPOs and the M&A market. Any possibility of taking Raft public? And also maybe just some thoughts on the GovCon M&A market right now?
Yeah, absolutely. You never know. Never say never.
Yeah.
Right now, we are keeping our head down, building, continuing to deliver.
Yeah.
We are proliferating, aggressively growing, so which is a great problem to have.
Definitely.
And so, I will say for us, we are looking at inorganic growth opportunities, especially around our thesis. So any of the founders that are listening in, If you like getting stuff done and you're passionate about solving this larger national security problem, let's have a conversation. We are as passionate as they come, and we really, really want to change the world. LSG.
Well, that's a great note to end on. Thank you for joining me today, Shubhi. And thanks everyone at home for watching. We'll have more updates coming to you from the Baird conference throughout the day and next couple of weeks. Be sure to also register for Potomac Officers Club's upcoming events. We'll be back in 2026 with the Defense R&D Summit on January 29th. We'll see you there.